All right. Good morning, guys. How we doing? Welcome to another stream. Morning. CVX, yeah, guys. The that whole XLE idea is starting to work out. That's definitely something we're going to talk about today. The energy sector is looking pretty hot. It's starting to get that bounce going, so definitely something I'm watching today. You're getting that the XLE move this morning. Obviously, CVX XOM with it. So definitely looks like it's starting to work. It's over one of my levels that I wanted to see break. So this is definitely interesting for me today. The XLE, the energy sector, after that big pullback. Yeah, it should be interesting. I know we've been talking about it for about a week now, so it should be good. We'll have to watch this today, of course. So let's get started. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Yeah, of course, Eric. That's what I love to do. You know, we got 260 people in here. It should be 260 likes, right? If you're here early, why not press the like button? Just kidding. I mean, you can if you want, of course. But all right, let's get started. So today's the 28th, guys. I need a haircut really bad. That's tomorrow. What else? What happened yesterday? So yesterday, we came up and basically we opened around that pre-market high and just never could get above it. So that was something that was key, right? That was a key takeaway from yesterday. Couldn't get over the pre-market highs. That's sort of where we rejected. 12,250 on the Nasdaq and 39.50 on the ES. And then we have that 3,900 brick wall to the downside on the ES and around 12,000 on the Nasdaq. So we have a channel that has been built on the Nasdaq and the ES, and something that I warned the chat, and I think I brought it up in the live stream as well. We could expect some pretty choppy action until Wednesday, Thursday, guys. Wednesday we have Jerome speaking at the ECB, and then Thursday we have inflation numbers. So do we expect a pretty choppy trade until that? Yeah, probably. Very possible. Sold puts collecting the puts. If you guys are in a split like Shopify, it's just 10x the options price. So or divide by 10. So let's say it's a $10 option contract. Today it'll be $1. You get 10 more. Let's say you buy one contract at 1,000. It'll be 10 contracts worth 100 each. So it's just the same thing. It just splits the contract the same as the stock splits. So yeah. Yesterday, some decent movement in the morning, and then basically a chop fest for the rest of the day. Do we expect another chop fest today? Yeah, we're going to have to see. I think the market is awaiting numbers. That's my feeling right now. So let's get started. Futures, as always, economic earnings calendar. I'll go ahead and pull that up real quick for us here, guys. The economic calendar once again, just so that we can be aware of what's going on here. Today, what do we got today? Today, consumer confidence index, we'll see what that shows at 10 o'clock. But the big stuff is tomorrow and Thursday. So GDP revisions, that should be interesting. Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking at the ECB along with many other speakers. And then Thursday, PCE inflation numbers. This is important, right? This is huge right here, guys. This is either going to move us higher or take us to the next leg lower. In my opinion, this is just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. This is just I don't trade based off this opinion here. This is just sort of what's in my head, just to sort of let you guys know. I think the only time that the market sees real upside is the first PCE inflation number reading that's as expected or lower than expected. When that comes, I have no idea. But when we start to see when we start to see a change in the trend of higher inflation, I think is when the market starts to maybe get a little bit of upside. So could that happen Thursday? I have not a single clue. Do not trade off that type of opinion. But that's what I'm thinking. I think we need to start seeing some type of improvement in that inflation number before you see anything that's legitimate to the upside. So does that happen Thursday? I don't quite know. I'm not going to trade off that. I'm not going to try to guess that that's going to happen. That's just not trading. That's gambling. That's guessing. I have no room to be doing that. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. It could be a very nice pre-market for us to trade, or it could be a very ugly pre-market. But we will see here on Thursday. So in 2 days, we'll get to see those numbers. So that is definitely important. Google, big supply zone. Rejected it yesterday. What's it do there today? Shopify, another supply zone at 400. What does it do there today as well? We have Tesla, big upside resistance at a supply zone as well. So all three of these stocks sitting at supply. What happens today? That's going to be interesting. Nvidia, actually showing a pretty interesting break and retest to the upside. Now, this is obviously going to need the market to move it higher, right? We're going to need Nasdaq strength for Nvidia to move higher. But there is a pretty interesting retest on the 4-hour chart that I want to share with you guys. Meta is sitting at a pretty major resistance point, supply zone. If the market moves lower, this is definitely one of my top watches for the downside. Apple needs to hold this 142. We'll look at Apple. XLE. This is XLE. This is a very interesting trade, guys. This is something that has good risk reward. This is the energy sector, which has been very hot this year, and it's pulled back for us pretty aggressively. Is this opportunity? I'm starting to think it is. I'm I'm fighting myself to take a swing trade, to be honest. Like, I don't want to take a swing trade, but if I was to take a swing trade, XLE to the upside looks like one of the swings that I would take. So definitely watching this. And then finally, Boeing. Boeing is approaching a very major resistance point, potential breakout level, something I want to share with you guys today. So that's what I got. There's a lot more to be looking at, which we'll try to get through as much as we can. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Straddles on Thursday. Roaring, I don't like doing that. I don't like any option strategy that requires guessing future price action. In that type of form. I mean, obviously when I take scalps, I'm technically trying to predict or try to get an idea of future price action in the short term. But, taking a straddle just to say, I think there's going to be a lot of volatility and I'm going to take a straddle because of it. It's possible, right? It's definitely something that people make money doing. It's definitely a strategy that could work. I'm removing all of the things that are not consistent with the strategy that I do on a daily basis. I've removed, any types of earnings plays. I've removed any types of straddles, any types of, mainly swing trades. I've removed everything out that is just not working. That's just not my core strategy, right? I'm sticking to a very core strategy, and I don't want to deviate from it just because of something that maybe is looking juicy, right? Something that's a shiny object is like, oh, I think there's gonna be a move on Thursday. It's very shiny. Let me chase that with a straddle. It could work, of course. But I'm staying away from the shiny objects this year, guys. It's done really well for me. I've had one of my best years so far, and it's really because I've really zoned in on something that I look for every single day, and I don't deviate from it. So I'm going to try my best to stay. That's my opinion, right? It doesn't mean it's not a good idea, roaring, but that's my personal thought process on that. So, all right, let's continue. Hourly chart. Actually, you know what? Let's go 4-hour. Here's 4-hour, guys. So, what am I looking at here? Let me delete these lines because I'm going to use those later. All right. So, here is, I changed from swing to scalping. I have recently, yes, because swing trading in this market is near impossible. It's not impossible, but it's not something I want to get involved with. The overnight changes, the volatility is just not really something. There's no trend, right? This is not a swing trading market, guys. This has been, right? Let's just quickly go over this. This has been about 2 months of time. almost 2 months right here. And there has not been a trend. You could say we are moving down, which we are. But, this 2 months is the top to bottom on this is about 14%, and it's not in any type of trend. It's sort of sideways, right? So how do I guess what's going to happen the next day here on a swing trade? It's just not something I want to be involved in. That's my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion. I have no interest. You can swing puts too, yeah, but you swing puts into something like this and you lose. You swing puts into something like this, you lose. You swing puts into a day that spikes up like this, you lose. It's just, I'd rather be cash in the day. That's my personal opinion. You guys do what you want to do. So, all right, futures. Nasdaq, what's going on, right? So you have the breakout of 11.8, guys, right? We had a breakout of 11.8 last week, got that big push to the upside, right? So we got that nice push, and we pushed up into the 12,250. 12,250, excuse me, was the level that we were watching yesterday as a potential resistance. That is here, and that is here. All right, so that is our triple top that is forming right now, 12,250. So, of course, that is the level that you need to be watching today, guys. 12,250 on the Nasdaq to the upside is the must-watch level that we have to be looking at for a potential breakout or for a potential rejection once again. So that's clear, 12,250. To the downside, 11.8. So what have we done? We have created a range, right? We have created a range between 12,250 and 11.8. That is what we are currently trading in. So we have to watch those two levels. Now, if we go down to the 15-minute chart, 5-minute, let's go 5-minute chart. So this is the 5-minute, right? And this is where we're currently trading in. You have that 12,250 high and you have that 11.8 low. Now, on the shorter term, I want to point out a few levels here. On the shorter term, we have this level here at 12,150, which is right there. Now, why is that level important to me? Let me zoom into it for you. And let me get this scaled up a little bit. You guys can see in the shorter term, if we zoom in, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Look at how much we've respected that 150 as well. So on the shorter term, as a minor level, I am watching the 150 today as well, because I can see that we broke it on Sunday futures, came back down. Monday morning, we opened up here, slided back down to it. Right? This is the pre-market. We slipped under that level in the intraday yesterday, came back to it yesterday. Where did we reject on the intraday yesterday? Right there at 12,150. We came back down. We tried to push back into it this morning in the pre-market. Where did we reject the pre-market this morning? 12,150. So, is this a lower high? Is this a new rejection point below 250? Is this the 150 rejection point now? Very possible. So, is this something that's a little bit concerning to me? Yeah, it is. For upside, this is definitely something that you don't want to see. You don't want to see a new high being built here at 150. This is a lower high. This is a new rejection point. So right here, guys, you can see 12,150. 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections in the last 2 days. So something you definitely want to be watching here today. 12,150, minor level to the upside. 12,250 is that big level to the upside. So what are we looking for today? We're either looking for a rejection here again to trade this to the downside, right? Something like this. Or you're looking for a retest of this level, turn this into support, and then maybe you can get to your 250 today. But that 150 is definitely a level to watch out for, guys. 12,150, definitely turning into some type of resistance here on the short term. To the downside, here's your support. 11,970. Why is that? You can see support here, and you can see support here. So that is my minor downside level, 11,970, yesterday's lows. So here's my game plan today, guys. I don't want to get too involved in this zone. I don't want to get too involved within 150 and 970. That's about a 70-point range. I don't know how much I want to be involved in that area. What I'm looking for mostly is a break of yesterday's lows or a push above this 12,150 high for either upside or downside. So you have these minor zones, 150, 970, 250, 11.8. This is what I'm watching today. So definitely watch these levels today, guys. I think these are the levels that are going to be very interesting and very worth watching. I think these are going to be respected today. 12,150, 11,970 on the shorter term, 250, 11.8 on that wider term range. So that's that. That's the Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and jump into the ES. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Here we go. No trade zone. That's right. That's my no trade zone. I mean, if something looks really good, I'll look for something, but that would be ideally my no trade zone. Exactly. All right, 3,900, guys. I'm sure you saw what happened yesterday at 3,900. I'll go ahead and jump into the shorter term time frame in a second, but 3,900 was a brick wall to the downside. It could not break through. So definitely watching that. And then 3,950 to the upside. So about a 50-point range here on the ES, guys, yesterday that we just couldn't get out of. 3,950 to 3,900. We traded within that range all day yesterday. So it's very clear, right? It's very clear. If we break out of that, there might be some opportunity. That is what you're looking for today. So here's your 50-point range. If you see this and you see this, then you probably get your nice upside. If you see the break at 39, the rejection at 39, then you probably see your downside. These are the trades you want to be taking to the either side of this range. You do not want to be chopped up in here. You really don't. You want to stay, at all means, you want to stay away from the trades within this range. If the ES breaks and holds, that's a very nice upside play. If the ES breaks down and holds below 39, that's probably a very nice downside play. These are the trades I want to be involved in. Here and here. I do not want to be involved in this. So watching that, guys, 3,950 to the upside on the ES, 3,900 to the downside on the ES. I want to warn you guys. I just want to give you a fair warning. It's not going to be easy to trade the 3,900 breakdown. Why do I say that? Well, just look at yesterday's price action, right? Look at yesterday's price action. Look at how many times it probably tried to make you believe that it was going to break down. It broke 39 here, came right back up. Broke it a few times here, came right back up. 39 here, right back up. 39 here, right back up. It did it plenty of times yesterday. So is this going to be a very easy breakdown to trade? No, it will not be. It will be difficult. You're going to want to wait for something that's extremely clear. Like maybe you even wait for this low to break, right? Let's say you come down today. Let's say you pull back and retest it. Maybe you even wait for the clear breakdown of the previous low, right? Just to have some confirmation. Because if you are trading, if you're trying to catch the slip under 39, I can guarantee you that it's going to try to chop you up quite a bit. It's going to try to chop you up quite a bit there. So if you do get a breakdown towards 39, be very careful just trading the flush. I would not recommend just buying puts at 39, expecting this thing to just be easily flushable. I would wait to see some type of confirmation to that downside. So 3,900, 3,950, that's your range today, guys. Watch out for the breaks of these ranges. Wait for some confirmation. Stay away from the chop. That's my recommendation. All right, Dow. You guys can see the Dow is trying to hold this area here, which is around 31.3. You can see it's been holding all day yesterday, right? 31.3 is your new level of support. New level of resistance looks to be around 31.7. So same thing. You guys can see it right here. Same thing. 15-minute chart. Here's your range. Trade either this, right? Or trade this. Do I want to be involved in the chop on directionally biased trades? No, right? I don't want to be involved in directionally biased trades in this range. Look for the retest and breakdown of 31.3 or 31.7. That's what I'll be watching on the Dow. I don't really trade Dow stocks often, so I'm not going to be too focused on this, but just sharing it with you guys here. Here's your range. It looks very similar to the ES, right? Same exact thing. Okay, last but not least, Russell. 4-hour chart. Just watch out for the resistance coming in at 1800. That's what I would watch for. Right here, guys. 1800 previous resistance points. All in here. Look at all these resistance points at 1800. 3, 4, 5, 6. So a lot of resistance back there at 1800. You're coming back into it today. That's what I would watch out for. 1800 to the upside on the Russell. So NQ, we'll go over it real quick. Again, just to recap this really quick. NQ, right? You have some minor levels at 150 and 970. Right here, this little range between 12,150 to 11,970. Look for those breaks. You either get the 12,250 or the 11,800. On the ES, you got your 3950, 3900. On the Dow, you got your 31.7, 31.3. And on the Russell, I would watch out for that 1800 supply above. So that's the futures, guys. Hopefully that helps. If you want to get these levels in a text format on a daily basis, check it out down below. It says free technicals. Google. So, if the Nasdaq is weak today, if we get downside on the NQ, Google here is definitely one of my main watches to the downside. I don't really need to explain this much. You can clearly see why. It is just a triple top at supply, 2400 resistance. If the Nasdaq is weak today, I am looking to see if Google slips off this triple top. Easy as that. If I see it, I will take it. If the Nasdaq is weak, I will try to take advantage of it. You can clearly see the resistance that came in yesterday up at this supply zone. You can see we sort of slid the rest of the day. So if we drop yesterday's lows, right around this 2320, if we drop this low, I will be looking to play it down towards this previous day close, or this previous open, Friday's open. That's what I'll be watching for. You can see that it is a very aggressive move to the upside here. If we drop this low, if the Nasdaq is weak, and I will be looking to play this move. So definitely something I'm watching. The reason I like this play is because I know that there's resistance above, so I'm comfortable knowing that there's supply above, sort of holding the stock down. If the Nasdaq's weak, then I will try to follow this move with Google. I can clearly see on the 4-hour chart that we are testing a supply zone. So what has it done in the past? In the past, it's rejected. So I'm going to continue to think that it does until it proves me otherwise. So if the Nasdaq's weak, if I see that downside on NQ, I'm going to be following it with Google here. Something I'm definitely watching today. Shopify is very similar. You can see Shopify had a downside day yesterday off of the supply. Nasdaq was weak as well. So if we get more weakness on NQ, what do you think I'm looking for on Shopify? Same exact thing. You have a top here, a top here, a top here, a top here, and a potential top here. What has it done every single time? It has came up into this level. 1, 2, 3, 4. All to the downside. What am I looking at again? I'm looking at the exact same thing. Not making this too difficult, right? I'm looking for the exact same thing that has happened the last 4 times it reached this level. If this breaks, you can see very ugly downside on Shop yesterday. Congrats to anyone that caught that. The level is going to be a little difficult here. You can see, I think it's around this 362, 360 zone right here. It's about a 2-point range, but you can see previous highs, right? Previous support and support from yesterday. So what do I want to see? I would like to see it drop this level, right in this area. I would like to see it drop this 360 level for more continuation to the downside. So 360 is probably my watch here on Shopify. You can see the 4-hour chart very clear. If the Nasdaq has downside, if the market confirms weakness, I will be watching Shop as well to follow that trend. Okay, Tesla, of course, guys, it goes both ways, right? If the market's up, this isn't going to work, and Shop's going to go up. Same thing with Google. If the market goes up today, Google could probably test that 2400 again. So it goes both ways. I'm just giving you what I'm looking at. Obviously the market is the big deciding factor on all of this. The market decides all of this. If the market chops today and does nothing, then these aren't going to do anything either. So you have to keep an eye on the NQ. Okay, Tesla. Nice trade on Tesla yesterday, early morning. Very happy about that one. I'm sure you guys saw that maybe on Instagram or TikTok. I actually put it on TikTok, which is a little bit of I don't know how I feel about it, but I put it on there because I get a lot of views on there recently. So you know what? It's and at least I'm sharing live trades, so I don't mind doing that. It's very easy to I just take it from Instagram and put it on there. I guess not too bad. I'm not a big fan of TikTok or I'm not a fan of like the things that go on in the trading world on TikTok. It seems like a very amateur hour type area, but you know, it is what it is. If people like watching it there, I'll do it. It is what it is. So previous support 1, 2, 3. You guys can see right here, triple bottom on Tesla at this 750, 790 area. You guys can see we pushed back into this, rejected it, pushed back into it, rejected it, pushed back into it, rejected it, pushed back into this level, rejected it again. Where are we today? Where are we today? We're at the exact same level. TikTok trader. We are at the exact same level again. So what happens on Tesla here? Well, if the Nasdaq shows weakness today, what do you think I'll be looking for? If the Nasdaq shows weakness today, I will be looking for the same supply rejection that we have seen over the last month and a half. Rejection, 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 rejection. I want to see the same thing. So if the Nasdaq is weak, I'll be looking to play puts on Tesla to play this to the downside if we see that Nasdaq weakness. Right? Very easy. We have that yesterday high a day, which really showed the rejection. Look at this candle, guys. Look at this candle. You see this candle on the 15-minute? Look at that wick. Look how nasty that is. So, really ugly wick right there at that 756, 755 level on Tesla. You can clearly see the rejection, the selling that came in yesterday. So, I will be looking for the same exact thing. If we drop these lows from yesterday, which are around 727, if we drop these lows here, then I will definitely be looking to follow this to the downside on any type of Nasdaq weakness with that supply above. So watching that today on Tesla, guys, obviously we're going to have to see what the Nasdaq does, but very clear resistance above, clear selling, clear supply. You can see it on the 4-hour chart. It has happened many, many times. Does it do it again? Does it do it again? That is what I'm watching. Okay. Nvidia, this actually looks somewhat bullish. But of course, the market's going to have to decide for me here. I'm not going to just trade this upside just because I see this. But I will tell you, this is a bullish setup. It just depends on whether it follows through or not, which Nvidia has not been a strong stock lately. So do I have a lot of trust in this one? Not really. However, I will show it to you just to give you an idea. Maybe it works. You have a previous resistance or previous support here that turned into resistance, that turned into resistance, that turned into support, that turned into support all day yesterday. What is this setup? This is a break. This is a retest. This is the consolidation that I talk about. You guys see me draw this exact setup many times. Break, retest, consolidation, hold the previous resistance as support, and curl off of it, right? That is exactly what I look for. So when I saw this morning, I said, hey, that's a pretty nice retest level, right? That is very clear. But we need the Nasdaq to confirm this. We need the Nasdaq to move higher today. If it does, Nvidia should probably see upside off this retest level. Let me go to the 30-minute chart. You can see it a little bit more clear. Right? Right here. Rejection, support, 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 pre-market support. So, if Nvidia can hold this 168, then you might be able to see that upside. But we have to get Nasdaq strength on this retest. It looks good. It's holding it. If I go to the 1-minute chart, you can see that it held it all day yesterday. But we need to get some juice, guys. We need to get the juice on the Nasdaq. Without the juice on the Nasdaq, this is not going to work. We have to see that. AMD looks similar. Yeah, AMD is the exact same, isn't it? AMD is the exact same shit. So you can see right here, previous support was resistance and is now turning into support again. A little bit of a flag pattern potentially here. All right. This looks like a very potential breakout, right? If we were in a bullish market, I would take this 10 out of 10 times. But we are not in a bullish market. So we need to think about our choices here. Is this actually going to move? Is AMD actually going to move? AMD and Nvidia have been very weak. Is this actually going to set up? I don't know. But I'm just sort of monitoring at this point because this does look like a pretty decent break and retest hold on AMD and Nvidia. Let's keep an eye on it. I'm not saying it's going to work today, but at least keep your eyes on these two charts. I really would. It's a decent setup right now. All right, Meta. This is, I'm going to be careful with the downside on Meta because I have a hatred for this stock. I just don't think it's a very good name and not a very good stock at this point. So I'm going to be careful trading the downside here because I feel like I'm going to be a little emotional on it. I feel like I'm a little bit too negative about it. But if I'm trying to protect myself, and everyone's going to have this, right? I'm open about it. I don't hide this, right? I know that I'm a little emotional about Facebook. So I have to make sure I protect myself here. Not to just play the downside because I think it should go lower. It obviously can go higher. But you guys can see right here, previous support, right? Into resistance. What did it do yesterday? So this is interesting to me. Regardless of what I think about this stock, you can see previous support, into resistance, right? This is a break, retest. It continues to stay below this 172. You can see it right here on the 30-minute chart. Look at the double top that is formed. So if Meta, Facebook, drops below yesterday's lows around 168, maybe even 166.50, right? You should probably see the downside here. So watching that, you can clearly see the rejection points on the 4-hour chart here. This is very clear, very obvious. You can see it was previous support that has turned into a major resistance point. So do we get the downside off that? If the Nasdaq is weak, I would say you probably have a good shot of it. Right? You probably have a good shot at Meta moving lower if the Nasdaq is weak. So watching that rejection point on Meta, 172, 172.50. I've never bought Meta in my M1 account. I don't buy Facebook. I do not buy social media stocks as long-term investments. I've told you guys my feelings about that in the past. I don't think social media is a long-lasting. It's an ever-changing industry, and one day you could be the top, and the next day you could be the bottom, right? One day MySpace was the best, the next day no one knows about it. One day Vine was the best thing in the world, the next day no one knew about it, right? One day Snapchat was hot, now Snapchat sucks, right? One day Facebook's hot, eventually Facebook's not going to be good, guys. That's how I feel about social media stocks. I think they come and go. That's why I don't put money into them. That's my feeling about the entire sector of social media stocks. The whole social media apps, I think they come and go. Do I want my money in something that comes and goes? Not really. So that's my feeling. Take it for what you believe. If you're here wanting my opinion, there it is. But I'm not trying to push it upon you guys. Obviously, I could be wrong about that, but that's my personal opinion. So looking at this rejection on Facebook, guys, double top here, clear as day, definitely watching it, right? That's definitely a watch for me today. Okay, Apple. Apple needs to hold this 142, guys. I really think it needs to. If it doesn't hold the 142, I think this could put some weight on the overall market today. So here's the 5-minute chart. You can clearly see it is attempting to hold the 142. It's a little bit, it's a little bit sloppy. It sort of came down to like 141 yesterday, but overall it just continues to revert to this mean. The mean right now is 142. It continues to revert to this mean. So I'm going to keep the line there around 142. I still believe that is the important level. We need to see it stay above this level. You can see at the last minute yesterday, it broke back above 142. I mean, literally the last trading minute. It was a little bit in the after hours. Like a few minutes into the after hours, it got back above 142. So, yeah, gonna see if Apple holds this level. If it does not, then I do not want to. Then I have to be careful in the market. I think if Apple loses this level substantially, then I think this is gonna have a lot of weight on the overall market and could signal to a downside move on the Nasdaq. So definitely something I'm watching. Apple off this 142. You got some pretty clear upside resistance here at 143. So you're in about a dollar point range. Do you lose this level today? Do you hold it today? Something I'm watching. Probably won't trade it, but I think, as I've said many times in the past, I think Apple is sort of your breadth of the market. I think it's a very important stock for the overall market. It is a large percent of almost all indices. So definitely going to be watching 142 on Apple, seeing what this does today. I think that needs to hold if you want to see the market continue higher. If the Apple does not hold, the market has very little chance of moving higher. So definitely watching that. XLE. All right, guys, here it is. I know we've all been watching this. We've been talking about this almost every single day since like the 15th. We've been watching it here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 days now. We've been sort of monitoring this XLE pullback. We've talked about the 70 level, right? And we were saying wait for some type of green day, wait for something of confirmation, wait for something to show that it's going to try to bounce. I think you're starting to see it. Now, of course, we always need to be aware of something like this where it's a fake bounce. That's always something we have to be aware of as traders. That's where risk management comes into play. That's where position sizing comes into play. We can't avoid that happening. It's not avoidable, right? You can't find an entry on a stock and know for certain that it's not going to pull back on you. So that's not something I so much worry about in a play like this, because if I do get into it, it's with proper position sizing. It's with a proper stop loss under 70. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you can't try to get into a situation where there's no possibility of it pulling back. That's always going to be something that we risk when we take a position. So you have a bounce here, and you have a bounce that's starting here. I was looking for 75 to break. That was my level to see if it could break, and it did this morning. The level 75 that I wanted to see break held this morning, or broke this morning. That was sort of a key level in my opinion. The next key level is up here at 77. That would be your next resistance to watch. What I'm looking for today is a hold of 75 intraday. That will be my watch. Can I see the XLE turn 75 into support on the intraday basis today? If I see something like this today, and I see it start to push back higher, I will be looking to take this trade. I need to see it hold 75 as support. If I see that, I will be looking to take the trade. I think the risk to reward's high, right? That's a big part of why I like this. I think the risk to reward is very high. Your risk is just about 4 points if you get out around 70, and your reward, if you think the energy sector starts to heat up again, is pretty high. I mean, it's possibly back up towards maybe the mid 80s, maybe the high 80s. We'll see. I'm not going to be taking this very large because I don't really enjoy swing trades right now. So if I do take it, it's going to be with a few $100. It's not going to make me rich. It's just going to be a little play for me to try to see if I can take a swing. That's really it. So that's what I'm watching. The risk to reward is high, not low. No, the risk to reward. You get a high risk to reward is a good thing. You don't want a low risk to reward. So I like that. Worth a watch, guys. Worth a watch. Definitely to see if the energy sector heats up. We got CVX. If you don't want to play XLE, right, you can play CVX. You can see right here, previous area of support. Right here, you got a previous right here at 140, right? 140, possible bounce there. Maybe it tries to move back into that 155, right? That would be a tough level, though, right into the 155. So if anyone pink bounce offers entry, why would you not take the trade, Mr. TNT? I never said that. So nice hold, maybe a push into 155. Watch that. All right, Simon, I don't know if you're trying to like create a new wheel or like reinvent something. Like I don't know if you're trying to reinvent the wheel. But when you say something has a high risk to reward for the last 50 years in the world, that means that it is a good risk to reward. It means that you get good reward for the risk that you put on. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. High risk to reward is a good thing. Low risk to reward is a bad thing. So I'm not sure where, I don't know. Anyways, XOM, again, another stock that could bounce here off 80, right? With that XLE bounce, right? Worth a watch, guys, right? Energy. Let's see if it tries to heat up again. That's really what I'm keeping an eye out for. BA, Boeing. Here we go. So, Boeing, on the 4-hour chart, we can see is very closely approaching a very tough level. Does this break through? That is something I am definitely watching. 142. You guys can see this right here. It has rejected here. Rejection, 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 rejection. Does it reject again? That's what I'm watching. If we zoom out, let me get more time here. We can see how important that this 142 level is. Right there. 142, right? 142 back here. 142 back here. So a lot of taps to this 142 level from back in 2020. Look at where we're trading. Right at the 142. So, what happens today on Boeing? That is definitely something I'm monitoring. Nah, I don't like that. Let me go 4-hour. What happens on Boeing at the 142? Definitely something I'm monitoring. With the possibility of maybe a move towards this 157. Double top right here. That's probably your next move. If you can see this move, I would say you probably get towards that 157. If this rejects, you could possibly see that 120 again. So, big level. As you guys know, I say this every stream. I don't point out these charts because I am telling you which direction it goes. I'm just letting you know and preparing you for a potential opportunity. There should be opportunity at a key level like this. When a stock is trading into a major level like this that you can clearly see, there's going to be opportunity. Which direction? Couldn't tell you, right? I can't predict the future. But what I can prepare you for if you come to the live streams is stocks that are at key levels. And Boeing is definitely one of them. So I would watch that today, guys. All right, that's all I got from my side. Let's go ahead and jump into the stocks that you guys want to look at. If you could take 1 second, guys, out of your day, press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the stream. That would be much appreciated. Let me pull up the tickers for us to look at. Holy crap, we got a lot in there. Let's delete some that I already looked at. We already looked at Tesla, we already looked at Google, we already looked at AMD, CVX. All right, here we go. AbbVie. So AbbVie is sitting at the 154 rejection point. Thoughts on Shop? Will you buy before the split? I buy Shopify every week. That makes no, guys. Shopify makes the split means no difference to your investing decision. I don't know why people still believe in that. It makes no difference. Buy the stock before, buy it after. You spend the same amount of money for the same amount of equity in the position. It makes no difference. So, you can buy it now, you can buy it after, you can buy it in 6 weeks, you can buy it in the past if you get lucky. Maybe you can go back in time. It doesn't matter when you buy it. Buy it if you like the stock. You buy the stock. It doesn't matter if it's before or after the split. It is all the exact same. There's no difference. So, AbbVie, XLV, you guys know has been getting a push higher. XLV, you know that XLV has been moving higher. AbbVie has been moving higher with it. However, look at the rejection point, 154. Look at this rejection. So watch out for AbbVie here at the rejection point of 154, 155. That looks like a tough level. That's what I'd be watching on AbbVie. UPS. UPS is coming into another rejection point here. You can see previous highs and a previous support low, right? So look, 186. What has it done here in the past? Previous support, rejection, rejection. Watch out for that. Right here, support, rejection, rejection. Watch out for that. That's what I'd be watching. UPS, watch out for the 186 level. Looks like a tough resistance. Twitter. Don't look at Twitter. Stop looking at it. That's my recommendation for you. Here's your price action yesterday on Twitter. This was your price action early morning on Twitter. For about an hour and a half, you had a 10 cent range on Twitter, guys. How are you making money there? Stop watching Twitter. It's an absolute crapshoot of a stock right now. If you want to try to guess what happens with the news, be my guest. Best of luck. Stop looking at Twitter. Goldman Sachs. XLF has been bouncing. Thanks, Joseph. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate that very much. Joseph, shout out to you. Have a great day, man. Appreciate that. XLF has bounced off this 31, right? 31. XLF has bounced. You can see it right here. Starting to get that push to the upside. Now, that's probably why you're seeing a GS move, right? So GS is having to move higher. However, GS has been in a very bad downtrend. You can see it right here. Very ugly downtrend on GS. I would wait to see it get out of this trend. I would wait to see it get out of that trend. You have earnings approaching, which is a little bit difficult to predict. So just watch this trend on GS. I don't love banks right now. I would wait a little bit more to see if the XLF can get a little bit more upside. Snow has been hot, man. And I don't know how snow is hot, but snow is hot. It's not melting though. But yeah, snow has another upgrade, I think, this morning. Jefferies upgraded snow. Goldman upgraded snow, I think. No, it was JP Morgan and now Jefferies have both upgraded snow. So the last time it got an upgrade, guys, it rallied. So is it going to rally again off of another upgrade? Yeah, possibly. So definitely a big breakout on snow, guys. I would watch this. Next resistance point is up here at 160. Next resistance at 160. You could possibly see that move towards that 160. Snow, another upgrade today. Definitely worth a watch. Guys, I check the SPY every single morning in the beginning of the live stream. Go to the beginning of the live stream. I'm not going to go over it again. So just reverse the chat or the live stream once it's done and you can watch it in the beginning. CrowdStrike 180 level. 190 level. That's the level to watch here. Watch this 190 level. You can see we have many tests of this level. Previous support, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. You're up at that 190 again. Watch out for that 190 on CrowdStrike. FedEx. Look for the break and retest on FedEx. You got through that previous resistance point, right? Look for the retest. Look for it to hold 240. That's what I'd look for. Look for FedEx to hold 240 on a retest. Okay, Adobe. Getting rejected right at the level we talked about yesterday. So watch out for that level. 385. Previous support. Possibly turning into resistance. Watch out for that rejection. Qualcomm. Really strong day for Qualcomm yesterday off with some news. Yeah, it's just like not really going anywhere, is it? It's like right in the middle of this chop zone. These previous lows here. I don't really like Qualcomm here at all, guys. I mean, it's not following anything. It's just in a straight downtrend. It's in a straight downtrend. Yeah, I would wait. I would wait to see what Qualcomm got. Give Qualcomm a little bit more time here, guys. It's just in a straight downtrend. I don't see much there. Costco 490, that's the level, guys. Costco 490, that's the level. You either get a rejection here or you get a break and retest to the upside. 490, that's the level. Watch 490. Target, nothing, guys. It's doing nothing. I wouldn't look at it. You can see right here, it's doing absolutely nothing. Stay away from Target. You're not going to get a trade looking at something like that. Walmart, it's holding the 120 demand, but is it making a really big move yet? Probably not. You can see it's holding that 120 demand. It has the resistance up here at 130. So I would say you have a pretty limited opportunity here. And now that it's trading right in the middle of the range, which way does this go? I wouldn't take a trade as a stock is trading in the middle of a range. You're sort of guessing at that point. So I don't like Walmart for a trade there. 120 support, 130 resistance. You got a 10-point range, which you're trading right in the middle of. Be my guess. Best guess is which way it goes from here. I don't quite know. I don't like trading stocks that are in ranges, so I would be careful there. Amazon. Yeah, Amazon rejected that left shoulder, head and shoulder level yesterday, didn't it? I forgot to bring that up today. You guys remember this left shoulder? Well, if you guys look at that look at the 115.50 level. Look what I'm about to show you. 115.50 was the left shoulder level on Amazon to form a head and shoulder. Now, if I go to the 1 minute chart, let me show you something very interesting. Look at where it rejected intraday yesterday, guys. Look at where Amazon rejected intraday yesterday after the downside move. Push higher rejection, push higher rejection, push higher rejection. What is this level? What is this level right here? 115.50. Where does that correspond to on the chart? That is the left shoulder of the inverse head, or the left shoulder of the head and shoulder formation. Amazon rejecting, now starting to show you the right shoulder. Is this a head and shoulder for downside? Very possible. If the Nasdaq is weak, I would watch that. Datadog, still in the range. Yeah, just still in the range, not doing anything. I would just trade the range. Okay, UNH, XLV has been hot. UNH has been hot as well. Let's go to the daily chart. I would just be a little bit careful of this supply between 510 and 500. This is the supply zone that I would be careful of. 500, 510, and 500. Lilly, obviously another hot LLY, I think is what you meant, not LILY. Let me see, is that even a stock? No, it's LLY. Lilly, all-time highs. We talked about this. All-time highs, healthcare is hot. Am I a buyer of a stock at all-time highs in this market? No shot. No shot. Will I buy a stock at all-time highs in this market? PFE, another healthcare name. Just watch the XLV and watch this downtrend. Okay. BABA. Some upside on the Asian market overnight. BABA up to 120. I would just look for your next level here, which is around 127. You might be able to get to that 127 here, right? You can see previous resistance, and you're back above, you're in the 120s. So you watch for that 120 here. If you get over the 120s, you probably can get to the 127s, 128s. So watch that. Strength on the Asian markets. NEO looks like it's slightly up this morning as well. Just watch out for this previous top around 24. And then watch out for this top around 26. So you got 24 double top. 1, 2. You got a top here at 26. So watch that here. And then you got these previous lows at 20, 28. So watch that here if it starts to trade into it. All right? So watch those levels to the upside. Possible rejection points. All right, last but not least, I have Oxy. Oxy is an energy name. If it's the same as the XLE, right, guys? You see this? Look at this versus the XLE. Same exact chart. There is absolutely no difference here. XLE, Oxy. XLE, Oxy. Same exact thing. It's going to move the exact same way. If you think energy bounces here, Oxy will bounce as well. All right, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you have a prosperous day. I hope you make some money trading. If you do, congrats. If you lose money today, focus on why. Journal it. Get an understanding of what you were looking at. Did you break a strategy? Did you break your stop loss? What did you do wrong, guys? There's nothing more important than understanding what's going wrong in your trading. If you do something wrong and you don't try to learn from it, you're not going to get any different results. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That is the definition of insanity. Don't be insane. That's my words for you today. Don't be insane. If you're doing something wrong, change it and learn from it. Don't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. All right, guys, have a great day. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you have a good day. And if you want to trade with me every single day, link in the bio, link in the description. It says trade live with me if you want to check it out. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.